Hey everybody, welcome back to an episode of Matt Money. I'm your host, Matt. We are going to be talking about Michael Burry, who is the hedge fund manager of Scion Capital, which was a big point of the movie The Big Short. If you saw that back in like 2010, 2011 timeframe, really good movie about the 2008 financial crisis. Now, a little bit of background about Michael. He basically was somebody that saw the financial crisis or the mortgage-backed securities kind of going bust, and he basically made a huge amount of money off of that for his investors and for himself. He then subsequently closed the fund, but now more recently, he has opened it back up to individual stocks. He's not really trading the mortgage-backed securities anymore. So, that being said, there was this article that I saw here that was released about 2 to 3 weeks ago, talking about the 5 stocks that he added to his portfolio in the first quarter. It's actually wrong because it says he added Facebook, and we'll go through the 13F, which goes through his first quarter additions, and Facebook was already in there, so they didn't really add it. But overall, it talks about some of the companies like Jack in the Box, Facebook, all companies that he owns, Boeing as well, Michael's Corporation, which was an interesting one, and the Discovery Channel. So, yeah, I just wanted to do this and just pull it off the 13F, see which positions he added to, see which positions he sold off, so that you guys can see another person's perspective, specifically a hedge fund manager like Michael Burry, who some people now follow pretty religiously based off of his predictions that he had in 2008. But before we get into that, I really want to talk about our new content that we were releasing. So in the past, what we had done is we have sold individual courses for $1 or $2 or so. Now we're basically releasing this all right up front to you guys for, it's basically a $30 value, just if you were to kind of look at it in that respect, right off the bat, just for a $2 a month subscription. So if you guys are interested, head on over to passiveincomeeducator.com, and there's an opportunity to do 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and there's a whole list of things in here that you can kind of see. You get a bunch of different courses, you get added to the Discord, you get added to a whole bunch of other things. You get, if we just hop into one of these websites here really quickly, it lists everything that you kind of get. You get 50% off Chartmaster products, so if you don't have the portfolio tracker or anything yet, feel free to go ahead and get that 50% off if you were to become a member, and 30% off discounted, basically one-on-ones if you guys want hands-on coaching assistance or tutoring assistance with kind of getting you on the right track if you want to shave off a year or two on your learning curve before you start really investing the big bucks. So just wanted to do that, and I've been chatting around and getting this Discord up and running, try to automate some things, getting some financial news that's automated from a bunch of different news sources. Regular news, if you guys are curious about riots or anything like that, pulls automatically. And then, of course, we have Uncle Donnie, Elon, and Jim Cramer's tweets that come in automatically as well. So a whole bunch of different things that you guys can add to and look for. And, of course, this is here for you guys. If you have any other celebs or news sources or anything like that that you want to pull automatically, you can just let me know, and we'll be happy to do that. So basically, getting back into Michael Burry's 13F, Scion Asset Management is really what it's actually called, and basically it's relatively simple. A lot of these aren't paying dividends anymore, and if they were suspended. But what I always do is I kind of take this stuff. While it gives you a lot of the information in here, I like to look at it in terms of sectors and stuff like that. So on its head, if you were to look at everything, whoops, let me erase my 401k number here to switch that up. The dividend, or his portfolio rather, is about $118 million, so much smaller than it was back in 2008 timeframe. And you can see there's very little dividends coming from the portfolio. So unfortunately, we won't really go through the forecasted monthly income he should be expecting or anything like that, because it's really only 1 or 2 stocks that are paying any sort of dividend. But you can see if you kind of scroll over that it's mostly consumer discretionary stocks, industrials, and information technology, which I thought was relatively interesting. And he sold out of a decent amount of information technology stocks as well. So we'll cover that. But huge allocation to consumer discretionary, 56%, 10% in industrials, and almost 35% in information technology. And so I thought that was relatively interesting. He's staying away from real estate. He's staying away from financials. And he's done well, right? So, $118 million portfolio for him and his investors, and he's up 40%, or sorry, $40 million, which is huge, right? I mean, you think about it, that means he's probably up close to 50% on total. And so, hopping into the actual portfolio itself, let's just take a quick look. He's got GameStop, Tailored Brands, Alphabet. He actually sold out of. We'll kind of highlight that a little bit more. Maxar Technologies, Corvo, Kraft Heinz. He sold out of. Covitrus he sold out of. BlackBerry he sold out of. Sportsman Warehouse he sold out of. He has Facebook, Wynn Resorts, Boeing, Cracker Barrel, Foot Locker, Jack in the Box, Las Vegas Sands, and Michaels Corporation. And so, just quickly looking at this sheet here, you can see that he is up pretty much on every one of these positions except for Tailored Brands. He's down 27% on that, but he's up really significantly, and sometimes double 2xers and almost going on to 3xers in some of these companies, which is really interesting. So let's just take a quick look at what specifically he has bought and what he has added to. So for GameStop, he's up about 3.6 million on the position, or about 35%, and he added to this by about 27%. So the shares basically went up from 2 point something million and change to now 3 million flat. Now he also has 4 million shares in Tailored Brands. He's down 1.8 million on the position, but he added to it about 21%. Like I said, he sold out of all of his Google shares. It was really small. I think he had like 8 shares in total, so it was really insignificant compared to the rest. So I'm not really sure what was going on there. Maxar Technologies, he's up almost $4 million on that position, almost 40%. He has about 900,000 shares, and he added about 38% in this past quarter, which is huge. He added 66% or 67% of Corvo. He is up about 3.5 million on that position, 125,000 shares. Like I said, sold out of Kraft Heinz, sold out of Covitrus, sold out of BlackBerry, sold out of Sportsman Warehouse. And I'm curious now, thinking about this video, if he actually made money on those. I assume he did, but it remains to be seen. So Facebook, he did not add to this position. He's got 60,000 shares. He's up 3.7 million on that position, which is really interesting. I think it's a really good purchase as well. I think he was buying it in like the 130s or something. Let's see where his cost basis is. 166 was his cost basis here. So really good position to kind of get in at. And Wynn Resorts as well, his position, he got in at $60, which is great. He did not add to this one as well. He has 7,700 shares. I think Wynn Resorts is a good one. He's up 53%, which is pretty cool. I think in the long term, Wynn Resorts will be okay. They have Macau, they have Las Vegas, they have a bunch of other resorts that are kind of opening up across the globe. So I think that was a good one. You have 149 in Boeing, so not the best cost basis for Boeing. He didn't add to this position in 1Q, so you could see that he was basically just basically keeping an old position and up about 27%. So he was up a lot earlier this week, or 2 weeks ago rather, when basically it was getting close to probably about 75% up or 60% up compared to the 27% he's on now. But regardless, he's still up about 2.5 million on the position. So good old Cracker Barrel. He got in at 83 bucks. He's still up about 37%, which is really good. $6,700 or 6,700 shares. I'm sorry, did not add to this position at all. Yeah, Foot Locker, he's got 100,000 shares of this at an average cost basis of $22, which is pretty cool. Can't complain with that. Up about 34%, and I missed a position here. So for Discovery.com, not sure why that price increase and the gains aren't really showing up. That's interesting to me. I tried fixing it really quick, and for some reason, don't know what the heck is going on there. But up from $19.44 to $22 on 350,000 shares. So pretty good. Probably close to $1 million in increase there. So nothing too cheap, nothing too expensive there in terms of how much gains he's had. Going on to Foot Locker, up about $751,000, just over or just at 100,000 shares, which is pretty good. $22 cost basis. Currently at about $29.56 per share, so about just over 34%. $750,000 position add, which is cool. This was a good one. $10 million increase, 102% from Jack in the Box, which I've thought about investing in the past. I'm glad I didn't, because I would have tried been investing, I think, in the $60, $70 range. But this was a couple years ago. So I think with the recent dip, he took advantage of buying it at a cheap price. So he bought 300,000 shares at $35. It's up over 100%. Price at the moment is just under $71. Great opportunity to purchase that. Las Vegas Sands as well. He purchased 68,500 shares of this. Up $500,000 on this one, 17%. Not the best, but I think Las Vegas Sands is a good one to hold in the long term. I think they'll bring back the dividend just like Wynn Resorts. And same with Michael's. Michael's was a phenomenal return, 242% return. Currently at $5.54. He bought it at $1.62 for 3.25 million shares, which is huge. It's a pretty good position to add to. He's up $12.5 million on it, almost $13 million on it. What a buy. Yeah, and I think that Michael's was a good one, because I think they started making a partnership with UPS and everything with the pandemic going on and everything like that. So people were really looking forward to trying to do that and make sure that their crafts are still going up. With respect to dividends, I have some of these old dividends in here, so ignore that. But yeah, you can see for like 2020, 2021, let's look at the yellow bars. It's really not that much. It's one company paying about $9,000 in dividends every single quarter, so nothing too big to scoff at. $36,000 in dividends in total. A lot of these companies have suspended the dividend, but that's to be expected, because Burry is really a swing trader. He's really trying to find money, deep discounts in the market like Michael's and other companies like that. So it makes sense that he is not really trying to go for the dividend income or anything like that. He's mostly focusing on the fact that he can potentially make a quick dollar on some of these swing trades when things are out of value, or out of favor, rather. But yeah, this tailored brand ones is a little bit interesting. Not really sure what's going on with this one. He's down 27%. Not sure if he's going to continue to add to it, or he thinks it's eventually going to turn around. But yeah, that's relatively it, guys. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I think it's an interesting observation to kind of look at what he potentially has bought. I'm curious now, with some of these low price cost basis and everything that Michael Burry has got, why some of these things aren't showing a share count increase. I'm going to have to go back and look and see if that's a problem. But at the end of the day, I think that this was a relatively good portfolio overview of the 13F from Scion Asset Management. And I'll hope to share this with you guys again in about a month and a half, when the 2Q13Fs come out. So thanks, guys. I'll check you guys on the next video. Cheers.